Adam Chris from MyMMANews.com, and I am being joined by Amine Ballafrikh. He is getting ready to take on Brandol Mendoza at Freedom 7. It's going down for the Freedom 135-pound world title. It's going down in just a couple days, Saturday, September 17th, at the beautiful and historic Grand Roosevelt Ballroom in Yonkers, New York. Before we get into it, I have to thank my guest for joining me. The the future champ. We'll see how the fight plays out, but I got him right here to talk about it. Amine, what's going on, brother? Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me, Adam. Thank you. I appreciate you and appreciate taking time to take this interview. Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. I like to get to know the fighters that I'm going to get to announce in the ring, and not only that, but the beautiful sport of Muay Thai could use all the help it can get in every facet to get the word out there, because Muay Thai, it's one of those sports, man, it doesn't get enough credit that it deserves. Am I wrong when I say that?
True, you're right. We don't get a lot of credit, and feel like Muay Thai as a sport is underrated from the media, and a lot of people, they don't talk about it. It's not a lot of much attention. So that's why I say thank you for having me, and thank you for doing things like this. It's big.
Oh,
That's how we can go.
It's my pleasure, man. I'm going to continue on that of why Muay Thai might potentially be flying under the radar, because let's just be real about it. It's one of the most brutal and aesthetically pleasing combative sports to watch from a fan's perspective. Let's just talk about the general fan, for example, right? MMA being one of the most popular sports that's out right now. The general fan, the one that goes to Buffalo Wild Wings, as soon as the fight hits the ground, oh, stand them back up, stand them back up. So the general fan, they want to see the knees, they want to see the elbows, they want to see the fighting stand up. And that is everything that Muay Thai has to offer and more. But again, it doesn't get the due justice. It's absolutely insane to me.
I know it's ridiculous sometimes, because most of the fight, they are more excited when you're standing up and throwing those elbows and knees and those flying knees and cutting people with elbows and bloody. That's what has got excitement. But sadly, a lot of people, they don't watch Muay Thai. It's not because just people, they don't know enough. Like when I came to the US, I think like 10 years ago or something, Muay Thai was a lost. Like a lot of people, they don't know. I used to tell people I do Muay Thai. It was like, what? I do Muay Thai. What is that? So I have to tell them I do a kickbox. And then he will tell me, oh, you mean like MMA? I was like, yes, okay. So a lot of people, but now we start putting more eyes on like in the big shows and stuff. So it helps a little bit. So what you do is a big support for Muay Thai. That's why I appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. And I'm loving where the direction of Muay Thai is going right now, with promotions like Freedom coming up and just absolutely blowing up the sport of Muay Thai. Not only that, but Jen, there's other promotions that are including the MMA little gloves into Muay Thai, promoting those fights. So Muay Thai is definitely on the up and up, and I just absolutely love seeing it because it's a sport of beauty. But so before we get into the fight, your fight in of itself, I want to talk about the pest control manager. What did I see on social media? You were getting a snake out of... Where did you get this snake that you were wrangling in the middle of the street and making sure it got back to safety? I'll just say that. No snakes were harmed in the filming of that.
Nah, not at all. I love animals and I can't harm animals. Anyway, I do this in DC. If you famous stairs in DC, Washington, DC, called Exorcist. There's a lot of movies about it and stuff, it's scary stuff. So I will go there and do like a run up the stairs, up and down every Saturday and sometimes twice a week, especially for my fight camp. So I was running and like there is this little tiny road and just snake pop up from one of the buildings. Like it's crazy. Like I never saw snake. I know about a lot of stories about the place is scary. You shouldn't do that. Because of people watch a lot of movies of the Exorcist area. But snakes comes up and everybody stop. And I was like, nope, we're not stopping. Snake just stopped and look at us. He did not turn left. He did not, we're not moving. He just looking at us. I'm like, no, we're not moving. So I just went and I pick it up and I move it to a safe spot. And we keep training, man. It's such a like life. When something come up in your way, you move it and keep moving from your way and keep going.
I like that simplistic approach, man. Everybody stops dead in their tracks when they see something they might be just a little bit tarnished, maybe scared by, and all you did was just pick it up, move it to a safer zone, and then it's back to work, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah, I was looking just for a safe zone, and it's not like nearby houses, so I moved it to the next big building and somewhere safe, and I left it up, and we kept working. We did like another 45 minutes of up and down on those stairs, so it was good.
No excuses.
Yep. Yeah.
So your fight, man, you're taking on Brandol Mendoza. He's 12-1, impressive record. But I want to ask, what do you know about him? How do you feel about the matchup?
I think the matchup it's good. I do appreciate it. He took a fight to fight, and he probably is gonna say the same, but I'm saying the same right here because I do appreciate it because a lot of people they will talk, but they cannot take a fight or they don't take a fight or they pull up last minute. So I like the fighter inside of him. I saw him fighting a couple times, like one or two, I believe, and he's good. He's aggressive. He doesn't scare. He doesn't back up. He's a man with his elbows. Like he go and think like his last four or three fights with the knockout with elbows. But nothing special. Nothing's gonna stop me. I fought people in his style. I fought people even dangerous than him, and I still come up with victory. So this is just another snake in my way.
I like how you put that. So I want to ask about when you get into fight camp yourself, right? I know you're a coach, you have your students, but when it comes to getting ready for your opponents, do you have your trainers that you let look into your opponents, or do you take that battle within itself too? Do you do all of the training for yourself? Do you have coaches that you go to that take a look at your opponents and diverge into a game plan for you? How does that all work out for you?
Well, I believe everybody has a coach.
Mm.
So I'm a trainer. I train like I have a fight team, and I just took them on a competition a few weeks ago, and we come like number five in the country. And now, when I'm fighting for my competition, I'm not a trainer anymore. I'm a student. So I have my coach, Sengap Putmon is like a Thai coach. I've been training with him for like almost 9 years. So no matter what, I do Muay Thai with him. Just as much as I push those guys to work, he pushed me to work. So I feel like always you need someone to be on the top of your head and give you something new. I have my coach for boxing. I work with Coach Ronnie for life for boxing, and yeah, just the same thing. What I do with them, I like I split myself like, and the last couple of weeks, and especially the last 3 weeks, I will pull myself a little by little from all like the engagement with fighters that I have under me, and I just focus on me a little bit, and they all know it. They all respect it. They all know it. They know it's not a time to give them now. It's time to give me back.
Hmm.
So that's how we do it. Like it's never an issue for me. I think I manage it very well by training my guys and training myself and working with my coaches. I think if I would train myself full time, that would be a little bit hard. But because I have coaches, I just set up a schedule and I just go and do what they tell me to do. So it's different a little bit.
Now, I want to touch on freedom as a promotion, and I ask a lot of the freedom fighters this just because it's a very similar answer across the board. They're on their seventh card in three different states, right? About to take the show internationally in October. Now,
Mm-hmm.
it's quite a feat for such a young promotion. Now, from your end, I want to ask you from your fighting aspect. I know you have your fight coming up this weekend. You have the weigh-ins, everything, but as far as your experience with freedom, what about freedom keeps these fighters coming back? What about the promotion that's doing it right, let's say?
Well, the promotion I feel like doing like 99% everything right. 99%, which is that 1% nobody can still be satisfied. So this means doing everything right, right? For to see a promotion who come in newcomer with 7 shows and already has like multi shows in different countries and bring some of the best fighters in their card is very impressive, very impressive. And that all the credits goes to the promoter or the CEO Rami because he's he been in the game for too long to understand what's need to be to put those shows and give the fan what they're looking for. Now, with all that being said, as of now, Freedom is number one promoter on US. And there is no doubt, and sooner, if it keep going like that, sooner it's gonna be worldwide because now, like we say, next month he's going to, I think, Middle East.
Jordan.
Yeah, and I heard from some interviews that next year he's going to Thailand. and now you just going all over, and that's all what it takes, you know. I think is number one show in US. If you see all the fighters that they fought in Freedom now, they all actually representing US overseas, either an amateur, either an FMA, either an award game, and it's just so impressive. He's doing big things, and I told him since day one, as soon as he start moving, I told him, hey, I love what you're doing. You got all my support.
So now that that being said, and the 135-pound world title is at stake, what would winning that title mean to you? Because obviously you have nothing but positive things to say about Freedom, Rami, everybody involved. So what would
Yes.
winning that belt mean to you?
Well, before we go to that, it means it's gonna mean a lot for me, for my people. I didn't step back in the ring since June 2001.
Hmm.
No, 2021.
Hmm.
And that's gonna mean a lot to me to step back and fight and compete. But it's gonna fix a lot of things. Like last time, I'm supposed to schedule to fight in Freedom. I think Freedom 4. Uh, I was scheduled to fight for a WMC title.
Hmm.
And somehow WMC, we could not get it approved for 135 pounds. So they get it approved for 132. And last time I fought 132 when I was, I think, 19. And I'm 30 right now. So I still took on the challenge, and I want to fight for WMC belt and Freedom. It was 2 belts on the line.
Hmm.
And it was November last year. So I didn't make weight. And that was the sad part, because that was the first time I ever missed weight since I started fighting when I was 14. So it was shocking for me. It was shocking for my team. It was a bad loss for the promotion, and I felt so bad for my opponent. And yeah, and I try to over whatever I can, so just to keep the fight happen. I don't want the belt. I don't want this. It did not happen. Anyway, it was all my mistake. It was I have to take all responsibility for it. So for this fight, I feel like I'm coming back to Freedom to prove them that I belong to that weight. I belong to 135, not 132. That I belong to Freedom, and I'm the world champion of 135. Because as of now, until right now, I'm still North American champion with Lion Fight. Nobody still beat me up. I defended my belt at 135. Sometimes I took a challenge in 143, 140, but I never went below 135. So this fight is mean a lot. It's not only as winning the world title. It's more about my mental. I'm the best in my weight class, and I'm gonna prove it to you. And I'm going there to prove it to everybody. And like I say, Mendoza is just another guy who's just stop in my way, and I'm gonna move him. I really don't care what he's doing, but it's more meaning. This fight is more meaning for me to prove myself and prove to the promoter that I belong to that world title, and I'm the world champion for that 135 belt. So
that all means more to you than the piece of hardware
yes,
in totality.
yes, it means more to me and my people as well. There is a lot of people who traveling with me, who believe on me. Uh, they never doubt me, so that's why they still traveling with me. I'm heading with like almost 100 people all the way from DC to New York. It doesn't happen all the time.
No.
To travel, to take with you 100 people from 5 hours drive or 5 hour train or whatever. It doesn't happen all the time. But the reason they go on, because they loves me, they loves my style. They're people who really support me for real. So I'm looking forward to prove them I'm a champion, and prove the freedom, and prove myself that I'm still, like we say, I'm a still shit on this.
Dude, how comforting is that with you just going off of saying bringing 100 people from DC to New York? Not an easy feat to accomplish at all.
No.
That's like bringing your backyard to someone else's backyard. That level of comfort can't be duplicated. What does that mean for you as a fighter when you're getting ready to go into battle?
Oh, that's a big confidence. I feel like I'm blessed, because a lot of people believe in what I do. I see what I do. I have a huge community around here. And if I ever fight again, I didn't fight again in DC since 2014. It was a sold out show. If I ever fight again in DC, I'm a different fighter. So it definitely can be a sold out show. So by seeing all these people going, and the ticket, they're not cheap. Ticket, they're not like $30 ticket, $60. I'm talking about 150 tickets, 130 tickets. Is expensive ticket than all of them. and people fly in and spend a lot of money to come and watch, that means the world to me. That's why I used to say before, when I just started US fighting as a professional, I used to say, I fight for me. I fight for my career. I want to be this. I want to be world champion. After I become champion many times in many promotions, I achieve a lot of things that I said I want to do. I don't fight for me anymore. I fight for my people.
Mm.
Like I really appreciate all these people who travel. So I want to give them a joy. I feel like by giving them a joy, I'm a performer. I just gotta perform well. That's it.
Now, I know your people, they understand how it works within the fight game. I'm sure they know to leave you alone at certain times, what you need to do at certain times, etc. But when you get into the hotel on fight week or when fight week is winding down and you have that much support behind you, how do you keep your mind at ease when you're in the hotel, when it's your time just to chill, unwind? I mean, is it video games? Is it going out to eat with your people? Is it catching up on some TV shows? What do you do to keep your mind at ease?
I have three people who's like I have my coaches basically. Those are the three people who's with me, and my nutritionist. We go eat. Simple. We go eat. We finish from food. We come back to the hotel like chill. I finish again. I go eat. I come back to the hotel like chill. Sleep. Do you know how I? Do you know how I try to stay relaxed and stay focused? So my other people, fans and friends who come in and watch me, they usually just leave me alone because they knows I'm in a fight mode.
Hmm.
So that day, like especially with the weight in or after the weight in, I might be able to catch up with some people, quick have dinner with them or something. But other than that, the day of the fight, I don't see nobody except three people. I
Okay.
hang out with them, I have dinner with them, I have lunch with them, then we go to the fight and we compete. That it keeps my mind clean and stay focused. Even
So,
the phone calls, I don't like to take a phone calls on my last fight. Like my last day of the fight. Like the day of the fight, I wouldn't take any phone calls.
I understand completely.
Yeah, the
It's
one
your time to
call that I
reflect.
take, one call that I take is my mom. I gotta call her, tell her, hey, I'm stepping up in the ring. That's it. That's the only woman I can take her call.
That's it. I understand completely, man. My mama knows best.
Yeah, and I've been doing this for long enough. She never been in it, so I always try to comfort her because she always feeling pain double when I'm fighting. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Does she tune in to watch live, or does she come to the events?
I believe it or not, I've been fighting. I have 36 fights, 13 fights all over the world. She never watched one of them.
No.
It's
It's
not
too
because
nerve
she doesn't
wracking.
love me. It's
Of
not because
course.
she doesn't love me. It's not because she doesn't support what I do. It's because she cannot see me going with people back to back. And she will like, I feel like my mom, if she come and watch one of my events, she will like pick up her flip flop and throw it at somebody. That's how I felt.
She
So
doesn't
she's
want to see her
proud.
baby get hit. I get it.
Yeah, that's exactly. And I'm 30. I used to say that when I was 18, 14, 15. She's still the same. Maybe now I'm trying to bring her here to come and stay with me for a month or something. Maybe in the next fight, if she's okay with that, I will bring her to one of the fights. But she never watched any fight. She never had. She just heard from like when I won a fight here or something, Morocco. A lot of people will go congratulate her, TV news, and she will be with them. Like she will call me, and on what people told her, she will tell me. Like one time, I remember I fought this guy, throw a low kick, then I follow with the knee, and I broke his arm, and it was in TV. The freak broke this guy arm, blah blah blah. And she called me and she said, "Why could you just win without breaking the guy arm?"
Like you had complete control over that.
Yeah, like why could you just win without hurting the guy so? But I was like, I don't know, man.
You know what? I do understand. I'm not a fighter, but I understand the love of the mother and how you always be the baby. You said you're 30 and you were saying the same thing when you're 18. Dude,
Yeah,
I'm 37 and my mom's still saying the same thing to
yeah.
me when we talk. You're always going to be my son. I get it.
The
Totally get
mom
it.
love, you know.
It can't be duplicated. It just can't. But before I let you go, a couple of things, getting back on focus into the fight. How do you think this bout will play out from start to finish?
Well, I don't know. I see Mendoza is an aggressive fighter. He say that he's technical fighter. I don't see he's really technical, but so I see he's aggressive. I'm all over the ring. I fight aggressive, I fight technical, I fight backward, I fight forward, I fight southpaw, orthodox. So I have my toolbox is full. Okay, so doesn't matter how, any way he come in, he's gonna get hit. Like it doesn't matter how it's gonna. So if he really play the way how I see him fighting all the time, which is aggressive, I think the fight's gonna finish with knockout. It's gonna finish with knockout, definitely. I don't doubt it's gonna go knockout. I'm not gonna call which round, but I don't think it's gonna finish around 4.
Do you think it'll be?
I remember
Let's
I
see.
want to say. Remember I wanted to say this when we're in the ring. I'm telling you. Remember, it's not gonna finish in round 4. It's not gonna get to the round 4.
It will not get to round 4. Now, if we can even narrow it down just a little bit, so I mean, we're just talking things into fruition here, right? So the post-fight interview, do you think it'll be via the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere? Are you going to kick, knee? Will it be a punch, elbow? Let's take this prediction a little further.
The way how I finish him, I think I'm gonna finish him with my hand or with my teeth in the face.
Okay, and it won't go till the 4th round.
It would not go to the 4th round. If it goes to the 4th round, it would not finish. And one of us is gonna be down. Trust me. Especially if he play aggressive the way how he played, that's the only thing is gonna happen. And I say that protect before and it happens. I know people. I fought people in his style many times.
Mm-hmm. So before I let you go, I want to leave the floor to you to shout out your social media so fans can keep up with your future fights and anything you have going on with you, as well as the sponsors or whoever else you have to give a thanks to, shout out to. The floor is yours, my brother.
I appreciate you. I want to shout out to all my people, all my fans around the world who come and support. I want you all to turn in, as always, watch the pay-per-view. It's going to be action, action, action. It's not only my fight. A lot of fight happening, but make sure do not miss my fight. And I'm going to do something special after the fight. Do not turn the TV off after the fight. There is something special coming up out there. Big shout out to my sponsor, Ilham Adlani, the big realtor in the DMV area. A big shout out to my nutritionist. Big shout out to my gym, to my people, my coaches. And big shout out to Freedom. Thank you for putting this together.
There he goes, Amine Ballafrikh. He's taking on Brandol Mendoza. It's going down in just a couple days at Freedom 7-4, the Freedom World 135-pound title. You don't want to miss this fight. Going down in just a couple days, Saturday, September 17th at the beautiful and historic Grand Roosevelt Ballroom in Yonkers, New York. Make sure if you can't make it, there will be a live feed at fcltv.com. That's Fight Club Live TV. Make sure you check out the live stream. And for my man Amine, I am Adam Christ. Make sure you keep it locked to MyMMANews.com for all your fight news needs.